Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights. Today we are going to see a very famous question to check whether a folder is present or not. In day-to-day activity, you may be required to see if a folder is present into your S3 bucket or in your Databricks account or in your Azure bucket, right? So in that case, you need to go ahead and write down a utility to figure out whether the folder is present or not. So how exactly will you do it? This is also a very famous interview question to actually brainstorm and check whether you know about Databricks and whether you can write a very simple Python code. So let's begin with it. So in this particular function, what we will do is we will create a small function which is called a folder check. And how exactly will you create a function? If you know the Python, you have worked with Python, you would be knowing you can create a function using the def keyword. And inside this function, what I will do is I will give the path of the folder where to see whether that folder path exists or not. Okay. So in order to check whether the folder path exists or not, I will write a try and except block inside the function. It's a very good practice to go ahead and do a try and except block to see whether the folder is present inside it or not. So in the try block, what I will be doing is to check whether the folder is present or not, I will be using a utility of Databricks. What is that utility? That utility is your dbutils command. So dbutils is a Databricks provided utility to perform some activity. Let's say you want to see and list down all your files present in your file system. You can do it. There are multiple things that you can do with dbutils. If you want to know more about the dbutils command, then you go ahead and watch my previous video in which I've explained you the dbutils, the file system, and other things. It will be very helpful for you for other interview questions as well. Now, let's come back to this particular dbutils command. So dbutils have a function called file system, which is fs. Inside the file system, it has one more module called ls, that is list down all the directory. ls is similar to the listing down of the directory in your Linux system. Inside that, you just need to provide the path that you are checking whether the folder exists or not. Now, if in case this path exists and it lists down the path, it's going to return true. It means the folder is present. Let's say the folder is not present and there's some error, right? It will give you an error if the file path is not correct. Then it will come back to the exception log and it will see in that exception if the error is having file not found exception. If the file not found exception is there, then it's going to return false. Now, inside that, if I go ahead and run this particular function, either it will return true or it will return false to me. So now let's see, I will declare a particular path and check whether that particular folder path exists or not. Now I have a path which is file store, and inside the file store I have my raw data, and in the raw data I will have some files. So if I run this command first, that is the function definition, the function definition is executed. Now the file system, it will go ahead and execute, and it has returned me the result that there are two files, that is the call trans and employee1 CSV is already present, means the raw data folder is already present. Now if I go ahead and check whether this is present or not, so I am declaring the path here with the raw data. Now my path is this. Now it should return true. Why it should return true? It will check, yes, the file exists here and it is listing down the directories file list, and it will return true. Okay. So now it will go ahead and check. That is how will you check? If this is true, then it is printing the folder exists. So once the folder check function is executed, either it will return true or false, right? So it will be like this. If true, then execute the print statement. Okay. So if in case it's true, it is going to print the folder exists. If in case it's not true, it will come to the else statement and it will say folder does not exist. Now, if the folder does not exist, what is our next step? You think like a project, you are working in a project, then you may need a folder with that name in which you can put your files. So you will be creating the folder. And how will you be creating the folder? The same thing, dbutils provides a functionality to create the folder. That is the file system functionality. So dbutils module has the file system inside which you will have your mkdirs. In the mkdirs, I am creating a folder called 2020. This mkdirs is same functionality that works in the Linux to create your folder. Now, once the folder is created, it will say that the folder has been created. Okay, so let's first see with the raw data which already exists. So it should print the folder exists. So if I go ahead and run this particular command, it says folder exists, which is well and good. I do have this folder. But now let's say I have this 2020. I'll show you whether the folder present or not. Inside my catalog, let me go to the DBFS. Inside the DBFS file store, I see raw data is present, but I don't see the 2020 folder here. It means it is not present. So now if in case it's not present, what it's going to do is it's going to this else statement. It is printing the folder does exist and it will create the folder with the name 2020 and it will say that the folder has been created. Now it says folder has been created. Let's recheck whether the folder has been created or not. In the DBFS file store, see 2020 folder has been created. Now if you want to create some file or upload some file, you can just do it from here. So this is how exactly you can see whether the folder exists or not and how you can create a folder. So in this video, we actually covered 3 interview questions. First, to check whether the folder exists or not. Second, how to create a folder. And third, how to use the dbutils fs command. So there are 3 questions that you may get from this particular video. So this is a very important question that the interviewer asks. So make sure not to skip this particular video if you are preparing for an interview. I'll come up with more videos, more interview questions. So stay tuned. If you don't know the complete playlist, I will just pin that in the I button and I will upload this file in the Git as well, and I will mention the Git location so you can refer from that particular Git location. I hope you have enjoyed this video. So like, share and subscribe to this particular channel. Thank you so much for watching and I wish you have a good day.